This was a very serious matter, Mr Ballantyne, but as you are a first offender, I will require to call for a social inquiry report and a community service report.
The Sheriff cannot impose a jail sentence on a person who has never been in jail before without requesting background reports. These reports help the Sheriff decide what would be the best and most appropriate sentence for the public and for the offender. Darren may be given bail, which means he is free to leave but must return to the court to be sentenced. Or he may be held in custody, which means he will be kept in prison until the date of the sentencing hearing.
Sentence will require to be adjourned, therefore, for a period of 3 weeks in order that these reports can be obtained. Bail's continued.
Mr Ballantyne, Diet's adjourned your case till the 18th of December for the purpose of obtaining social inquiry and community service reports. Bail will be continued as previously granted. That's all, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I thank you for the obvious care and attention that you've given this case throughout. Your availability to serve as jurors is an essential part of the system of justice in Scotland. I hope you've not been unduly inconvenienced, and I do hope that you found the experience of some interest. Can I now discharge you from your duties as jurors with my thanks? Thank you. Mr Scott.
Yes, Lady. I appear again for Darren Ballantyne. There is a report now available. The factors I would simply wish to emphasise are that he is only 19, he's in full-time employment, he comes from an extremely supportive family, and they've attended again today as they did during the course of the trial. He had never been in trouble at all before, apart from this matter, and the terms of the social inquiry report are extremely favourable. Community service is available as a direct alternative to custody, and on the strict understanding that it is as an alternative to custody, I would invite your ladyship to place him on a period of community service.
Stand up, Darren Ballantyne. As you now know, assault and robbery is a serious crime, and your appalling behaviour on the 13th of June clearly has had a very distressing and frightening effect on the victim, Mrs Jenkins, and also on the child. Normally you could expect to be sentenced to a lengthy period of detention for a crime such as this. However, I've read the terms of the social inquiry report, I've taken account of your previous good record, and I've taken account too of your genuine remorse, as well as the other factors referred to by Mr Scott in mitigation. I am therefore prepared on this occasion to impose a non-custodial sentence. I propose to make a community service order requiring you to perform 300 hours of community service. This means that you're required to carry out 300 hours of unpaid work in the community. This work will be carried out under the supervision of the local authority, and you must carry this work out at such times as your supervising officer instructs. You must report to that officer when required to do so, inform him of her of any change in your address or times of employment. You'll have 12 months from today's date within which to carry out the 300 hours of community service. If you fail to comply with this order, you may be brought back to court. The community service order will then be revoked, and you may be dealt with as if no such order had been made. Accordingly, it will be open to the court to imprison you, and you should bear in mind that community service is an alternative to a prison sentence. Now, do you understand what's been said to you?
Yes.
And do you agree to comply with all these conditions?
Yes.
Very well. 300 hours community service.
Darren Ballantyne, 300 hours community service orders imposed. A copy of the order will be sent to you, and a social worker will be in touch with you in due course. That's all, thank you.
Throughout these programmes, we have tried to explain the procedures and traditions of the court, and hopefully you now have a better understanding of how a court operates, who's involved, and the roles we all play in the Scottish criminal justice system. Without members of the public coming forward as witnesses or to serve on a jury, it would not be possible for the Scottish legal system to maintain the high standards which have been achieved for hundreds of years.